Today we will take a look at your Trichinella spiralis. Okay? Yes, your Trichinella spiralis. The common name of your Trichinella spiralis is Trichina worm or mussel worm, accordingly. The habitat of your Trichinella spiralis is for your adult. Please note that it resides in the small intestines. Again, it inhabits the small intestines. The adult Trichinella spiralis inhabits the small intestines, and the larva is found in your striated muscle, or they are encysted in your striated muscle accordingly. And yes, please note that the final hosts of your Trichinella spiralis will include your man, your hogs, together with your rats. And yes, please note that your man here, humans, they are accidental host, and they are also dead end host. Again, they are also your dead end host. And yes, the diagnostic stage is the encysted larva that is present in the muscle, seen in cases of muscle biopsy. And as for the mode of transmission, the mode of transmission is the ingestion of undercooked or raw meat that contains the encysted larva. Okay, that is for your Trichinella spiralis. Moving on, let's take a look at your larva. The larva of your Trichinella spiralis measures 80 to 120 micrometers by 5.6 micrometers at birth. And yes, it can reach the size of 0.65 to 1.45 mm in length by 0.026 to 0.040 millimeters in width after it enters a muscle fiber. Okay, please note that uh, after it enters a muscle fiber, the striated muscle cell is known as the nurse cell. Okay, and so this nurse cell will surround the coiled larva. Again, this nurse cell will surround the coiled larva of Trichinella spiralis. Okay, and so this larva possesses spear-like burrowing tip at its tapering end. Okay, as for the adult, the females, they are what they call this 3.5 millimeters by 0.06 millimeters. And please note the adult Trichinella spiralis is rarely seen in stool accordingly. Okay, your adult female Trichinella spiralis is larviparous, meaning again, it what they call this, it lays larva instead of ova. Okay, and so the female accordingly has a single ovary that is situated in the posterior part of the worm. Okay, and so it has a blunt, rounded posterior end, and again, a single vulva and a single ovary that is located at the anterior fifth of this Trichinella spiralis worm. Okay, again, your adult female is viviparous, again meaning it lays larva instead of ova. And yes, the female lives for 30 days and is capable of producing more than 1,500 larvae in its lifetime. Okay, let's take a look at your what they call this, your nurse cell. Okay, and so your nurse cell, that is your striated muscle cell wherein the larva insists accordingly. Okay, yes, in this illustration, you have the nurse cell and then you have your larva present. Okay, again, this one is a diagrammatic illustration of your what they call this, Trichinella spiralis larva. Okay, and so this is your striated muscle cell. Okay, and so surrounding this one is your nurse cell, of course, the larva. Okay, let's take a look at another one. Okay, this one is another illustration of your encysted Trichinella spiralis larva. Okay, and so this one is again the larva. Okay, and so this is the larva, and then surrounding this one is the nurse cell accordingly. Okay, Yes. And as for the adult male, you have 1.5 millimeters by 0.04 millimeters. And yes, it has a single testis that is located at the posterior or near the posterior end of the body. And yes, the posterior is ventrally curved with two lobular caudal appendages. And please note that the adult male dies after copulation. Okay, after copulation, the adult male dies accordingly. Okay? Your life cycle of Trichinella spiralis. The adult resides in the small intestines, and the female is viviparous. It will release or lay larvae, which then will penetrate the intestinal mucosa and disseminate into the bloodstream. And yes, once it reaches the muscle, it will insist, or the larva insist in striated muscle, and ingestion of your undercooked meat with encysted larva, that is the mode of transmission. Okay, and so once the undercooked meat with encysted larva is digested in the stomach, okay, and so the larva is released. Okay, the larva is released, and yes, it is released in the small intestine. Okay, and so yes, because the muscle is digested, thereby liberating the larva. Okay, and so what will happen here? Please note that the larva that is released matures in 2 days. It matures within 2 days, mature to adults within 2 days, and after 5 to 7 days, the mature adult or the mature female worm can produce eggs. Yes, it will produce eggs, but then it will not lay eggs. Okay, it will mature. I mean, the mature uh, Trichinella spiralis will produce eggs that matures into larva in the uterus. Inside the uterus, the eggs will mature into larva. And then the larva is then deposited. The larva is deposited in the small intestines. Okay? That is for your life cycle of the Trichinella spiralis. And yes, as for your humans, of course, again, the larva migrates into the muscles and then okay, and so develops into the infective stage and then calcify accordingly. That is for the life cycle. Let's take a look at the illustration of the life cycle of your Trichinella spiralis. Please note again that adult worms and encysted larvae develop within a single vertebrate. Okay, and so develop in within a single vertebrate host, and an infected animal serves as a definitive host and potential intermediate host accordingly. Please note that a second host is required to perpetuate the life cycle of Trichinella. Okay, and so you have actually three cycles here. You have the blind alley cycle, the sylvatic cycle, and the domestic cycle. As for the domestic cycle, most this one involve your pigs and rodents. Okay, and so but then all it can also involve your horses. Okay, and so as for the sylvatic cycle, as what we said earlier, in the sylvatic cycle, the range of infected animals is great, but animals most often associated as sources of human infection, they are your bear, your moose, and your wild boar accordingly. Okay, and then as for your blind alley cycle, please note that the man ingests the undercooked meat, the larvae are released in the small intestine, and then the larvae mature into adult worms, mate, then the females will produce uh, ova that will mature into larva, which is laid. Okay, and then the larva migrate into the muscles via, of course, the lymph or portal circulation, and into the muscles, it will mature into the infective stage, that is the encysted larva. Okay, and so it will mature into infective stage, that encysted larva, and yes, it will calcify. Okay, that is for your blind alley cycle, or that in your blind alley cycle, that is the human infection. Okay, and so please note that humans are dead end host here. Why? Because again, there is no way for the larva to be released out of the encysted muscle unless the larva is eaten, I mean, unless human meat is eaten, I mean, yes, is eaten, okay, and unless, okay, and so the population is are cannibals, okay, unless again the population is are cannibals accordingly, okay, and so for that, let's take Okay, let's take a look at your symptoms and pathology of your Trichinella spiralis. Please note that the disease cause, that is trichinosis, trichiniasis, and trichinelliasis. Please note also that is otherwise known as the great imitator because it can mimic other diseases. As for your what you call the signs and symptoms or the pathology, you have three stages. You have intestinal, the larval migration or muscle invasion, and convalescence. As for the intestinal, you have here the inflammation of your mucosa of the duodenum and jejunum. Body malaise or malaise is also seen, experienced. Nausea, diarrhea, and abdominal cramps is also experienced. As for the muscle invasion or larval migration, you have fever, facial edema, and eosinophilia. Again, fever, facial edema or the eyelid edema, and eosinophilia. Okay, uh, this is actually common, okay? And so during the larval migration, your eosinophilia is common again during larval migration. And yes, during larval migration, again, there is muscle pain at the site of encystation. And please note that the site of encystation is usually the muscles of the arms and legs accordingly. And yes, okay, and so difficulty in swallowing and breathing is also seen during larval migration. Sorry, please note that the larva can migrate or penetrate or can insist in your cardiac muscle. Please note it is striated muscle and the cardiac muscle is striated muscle accordingly. Okay, and so back to this, please note that the severity of signs and symptoms depends on the intensity of infection. 10 larvae, they are usually asymptomatic, while moderate infection of 50 to 500 larvae, there are already symptoms that are shown. And yes, infection again with few hundred larvae can result in gastroenteritis, diarrhea, and abdominal pain that is seen approximately 2 days after infection. And yes, okay, and so for the symptoms. Okay, and so as for the convalescence, it begins at about the third end of the third week. And during the convalescence, as as it says, convalescence, the signs and symptoms subside, and what they call this, what there is the development of the cyst wall, then the larva will calcify. Okay, and so then the larva will calcify. Please note again that there is no way for the encysted larva in humans. Okay, and so there is no way for the encysted larva to escape unless kakainin mo po yung taong may encysted larva. Okay, adults in the small intestine, it will cause diarrhea and abdominal pain. Okay, and so that is for your pathology and symptoms of your Trichinella spiralis. As for your laboratory diagnosis, muscle biopsy is done through histological examination of zero point 0.2 to zero point 0.5 grams of muscle tissue. This muscle tissue is digested, okay, and the muscle tissue is digested using pepsin and hydrochloric acid. Okay, and so usual, okay, and so you have your gastrocnemius and your biceps again because the arms and the legs, the muscles of the arms and the muscles of the legs, they are the usually infected. Okay, please note that muscle biopsy is done with or within third or fourth week of infection. Other than your muscle biopsy, you have your immunotests, you have your bentonite flocculation test, your Bachmann intradermal test also. that utilizes your Bachmann intradermal test. It utilizes an antigen that is prepared from Trichinella larva, and the positive result is seen after, or this intradermal test is read after 30 minutes, and the positive result is small white swelling around the injected site, and this white swelling is surrounded by an unraised irregular wheal accordingly. Other than your Bachmann intradermal test, Beck's CNO diagnosis accordingly is also utilized. Okay, and so how is this done? It uses albino rats. Okay, and so you feed the albino rat with the meat. Okay, and so you feed the albino rat with the meat, and then it is killed and examined for the presence of the larva. And yes, okay, and so eosinophilia is seen in cases of larval migration, and yes, serodiagnosis accordingly also. Okay. Okay, as for the treatment, you have here the removal of muscle with encysted larva accordingly. But then thiabendazole and prednisone, okay, and so they are accordingly utilized. As for your prednisone, it can reduce inflammation uh, in the muscle encystation of the larva, or it can also relieve symptoms that is caused by the larva in the muscle. Okay, and as for the prevention, thorough cooking of pork. Okay, please note thorough cooking of pork and elimination of encysted larvae in the pork through freezing at negative 30 degrees Celsius for 24 hours, and extermination of rats and mice around the farms, because again, your rats and mice, they are hosts accordingly. Okay, Trichinella spiralis, thank you, and see you around. Tara, akyat tayo.